Most agents waste 99 out of every 100 leads they buy. The core problem isn't where they source the leads, it's that they're chasing every name in the list, not just the ones ready to move right now. Seller intent scoring solves this by using AI to identify which property owners are actually motivated to sell at this moment. Instead of calling every expired listing or FSBO in your territory, intent scoring surfaces the sellers actively researching their home value, looking at comparable sales, or searching for ways to sell fast. The software analyzes digital signals, valuation requests, property history searches, timeline keywords, and ranks each lead on a scale so you know exactly who to call first. That's what separates a 0.5% conversion rate from a 42% conversion rate. Intent scoring doesn't replace your lead source. It multiplies the value of the leads you already buy by helping you spend your time on the ones that are ready. Seller intent scoring is the practice of using AI to detect behavioral and digital signals that indicate a property owner is motivated to sell in the near term. It's different from traditional lead scoring, which ranked leads by age of list or proximity to your territory. Intent scoring looks at what sellers are actually doing, the searches they're running, the questions they're asking, the timeline they mention in conversations. The real estate market in 2026 has shifted decisively toward first-party intent data. Opendoor, one of the largest iBuyers in the country, built their entire acquisition strategy around asking sellers directly about property condition and timeline inside their product. This generates proprietary seller understanding, generated one conversation at a time, according to Perspective AI. The advantage isn't a bigger list, it's better signals. Traditional scoring guesses based on stale data. AI intent scoring asks and listens. That's why the market has moved away from bulk portal leads, which convert between 0.5% and 1.5%, and toward platforms that surface real-time behavioral signals from motivated sellers. Real-time intent scoring runs on three primary signals. The first is valuation activity. When a property owner searches for their home's value, pulls a Zestimate, or requests a CMA from a third-party site, that's a public signal that they're thinking about selling. It doesn't mean they're ready to list tomorrow, but it means the idea is in their mind right now. The second signal is property history and comparable sales research. Sellers actively investigating what comparable properties in their neighborhood have sold for and at what price are educating themselves before they reach out to an agent. They're doing homework. The third signal is timeline keywords. When a seller mentions in a conversation, a listing inquiry, or a direct message that they need to move in the next 30, 60, or 90 days, that's intent data that traditional systems can't capture because they're not having real conversations with sellers. This is the kind of signal Goliath Data surfaces in real time through its platform. The platform feeds these three signals to a scoring engine that ranks every lead you pull, whether from expired listings, FSBOs, or third-party data, so you know immediately which ones are actually motivated. According to RedX in 2026, expired listings are the highest performing lead type overall, boasting a 44% list rate and a 20.7% sold rate. But within that pool, the ones showing high intent signals convert significantly faster. Responding to a lead within 5 minutes makes agents 21 times more likely to convert that lead per the close. That's where the speed to intent advantage compounds. You get the signal, you respond within minutes, and the conversion multiplier kicks in. Step 1. Choose your lead source and pull your list. This could be expired listings, FSBOs, probate records, or a third-party database. The source doesn't matter as much as the intent scoring you'll apply to it. Most teams source from multiple channels: expired lists from MLS, FSBO scrapes from Zillow or Redfin, plus county records data. Bring all of these into a single pipeline so your scoring engine can rank across all sources at once. Step 2. Load your list into an intent scoring platform. Goliath Data offers a comprehensive platform with instant access and typical onboarding of just 2 minutes. You upload your list, whether it's 50 names or 5,000, and the platform immediately begins analyzing available digital signals for each property and owner. The software matches property addresses to public data, searches, and behavioral indicators so every lead gets a score. Step 3. Score and sort by intent rank. The platform delivers a ranked list sorted by intent signal strength. High intent leads, those showing valuation searches, comparable research, or timeline mentions, rank at the top. Low intent leads rank at the bottom. You now have a clear calling sequence. Your first 10 calls should all be from the high intent bucket, not random dials across the whole list. Step 4. Set up your 5-minute response system. This is critical. Once you identify high-intent leads, your response time is the multiplier. Set up your phone or CRM to alert you instantly when a high-intent lead enters your system. If you can call within 5 minutes, you're 21 times more likely to convert per the close. If your response time stretches to 30 minutes or an hour, the conversion window closes. Automate notifications so you catch high-intent leads while they're still in research mode. Step 5. Track conversion by intent tier. After you've been calling for 2 to 4 weeks, segment your closed deals by the intent score of the leads that turned into sales. You'll see a clear pattern. Higher intent leads close faster, at higher commission, with fewer objections. Lower intent leads waste time. Use this data to calibrate your dialing priority for the next batch of lists. Double down on the signal strength that's producing closes in your specific market. An investor in Texas pulling expired listings was seeing a 2.8% conversion rate on his list of 400 names per month. He was calling everyone. The lead was old, the list was cold, and most calls went nowhere. He was spending about 45 minutes per lead just to find the ones actually interested in selling. After implementing intent scoring through Goliath data, the picture changed immediately. The platform ranked his 400 expired listings and identified 87 leads showing high-intent signals, valuation searches, property history digs, or timeline keywords. Instead of calling all 400, he focused his dialing on just the 87 high-intent names. His conversion rate on the high-intent bucket jumped to 5.6%. He closed 2 deals from those 87 leads within the first 3 weeks, compared to 1 deal from the previous 400-name list in a full month. The time he saved by not chasing low-intent names let him follow up more thoroughly on the high-intent leads, doing better qualifying calls instead of wasting breath on cold names. On his second month running the same process, he pulled a fresh list of 420 expired listings, scored them down to 102 high-intent leads, and closed 4 deals. By month 3, his closing rate had stabilized at 5.2% on the high-intent subset, which meant he was closing roughly 7 to 9 deals per month from expired leads alone. This is the move that transformed his pipeline. Focus on signal strength, not list size. The math is simple. Fewer leads, better signals, faster closes, higher confidence. Instead of treating every lead equally, he was working with people actually ready to sell. Mistake 1. Ignoring response time. You can have perfect intent signals, but if your response time is 45 minutes or longer, you've already lost the lead. The moment a seller finishes researching their home value or looking at comparables, their active consideration window is closing. They move on to the next thing. Calling them an hour later feels like a random cold call. They've mentally moved past the selling idea. The fix: set up mobile alerts or Slack notifications so you know instantly when a high-intent lead enters your system. Test your response time on your own team. If you can't commit to calling within 5 minutes, don't rely on intent scoring. You're wasting the signal. Mistake 2. Scoring without context. Some teams implement intent scoring, but don't actually adjust their dialing behavior. They still call low-intent leads because those names came from a list they paid for, or because they're in a neighborhood where they've done deals before. Intent scoring only works if you actually change your behavior based on the score. If you pull a list and 90% of it scores low on intent, that's not a problem with the tool. That's a signal that your lead source isn't generating motivated sellers. The fix: ruthlessly prioritize high-intent leads first. Don't apologize for skipping low-intent names. Treat intent scoring as your call sequence, not as optional data. Mistake 3. Mixing intent signals from different time windows. Some platforms score leads on historical data, research they did 3 months ago, and treat it the same as current research. Intent data decays. A search for comparable sales that happened 90 days ago doesn't tell you anything about current motivation. The strongest intent signals are fresh, searches and timeline mentions from the last 7 to 14 days. The fix: look for platforms that surface only recent signals, not historical aggregate scores. Goliath Data pulls real-time signals, so you're seeing sellers who are actively thinking about selling right now, not sellers who were curious 3 months ago. Mistake 4: forgetting to track your own close rate by intent tier. After you've been using intent scoring for a month, segment your closed deals. Measure how many came from high intent leads, medium intent, and low intent. You'll see the pattern in your own market. Some investors find that high intent leads close 30% faster. Others find higher deal sizes. The specific advantage varies by market and agent profile, but if you don't track it, you're flying blind. The fix: ask every buyer or seller you close, where did you first hear about your home's value? Or, what made you decide to call me? Match their answer to the intent score from the lead system. Build a feedback loop so you can prove intent scoring works in your specific situation. The rule that matters: intent scoring is speed plus focus. Speed to intent is wasted if you're not actually focused on high intent leads first. Focus is wasted if you don't respond within minutes. The two together, real-time signals plus fast response, are what create the 42% conversion lift you see in the data. Skip either one, and your conversion rate stays flat. Subscribe for more real estate prospecting breakdowns.